Hello and welcome to the Punters preview for the Cairns Cup this weekend. I am your host, Alex Donnelly, joined once again by James Lamb. Lammy, off the back of last week, we had a successful week on the punt.
We did. Queensland form expert now after Perovic won last start.
I'm still expecting the plane ticket to arrive Friday morning so we can fly up.
I don't think it's happening, unfortunately.
Up to Cairns. Of course, it is the Cairns Cup this Saturday up at Cannon Park. Of course, Ladbrokes Cannon Cup. We've had a great time previewing all three of these big races from Townsville across to Cairns. It is the Red Beret Hotel at Cairns Cup over 2100. This video is brought to you by Racing Queensland. Now, before we get to the third and final of our runner-by-runner previews for this carnival, we are going to hear from Cairns Jockey Club General Manager Cam Riches right now. On Thursday, the 21st of August, you've got the Sportsman's Lunch and the Calcutta before Ladbrokes Newmarket Day on the 22nd and, of course, Cairns Cup Day on the 23rd. So it's like it really builds up from Cairns Amateurs Day into the week where you've got a lot of events on. And obviously, you do have some great guests coming along to the Calcutta. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've actually got Robbie Dolan, 2024 Melbourne Cup winning jockey, travelling up, along with Ladbrokes bringing up Nick Quinn to MC the event, along with Glenn Boss, three-time Melbourne Cup winning jockey. So they're going to tell their stories, their highs, their lows, give us an inside. Bossy will give us an inside of some tips down south, but also have a look at the locals.
And to the racing, Friday is the first of the 2 days where you do have the Ladbrokes Cairns Newmarket, $100,000, $57,500 to the winner. Are you expecting a pretty good field for that event?
It is. Previous years, it's been $75,000 event. This year, it's been jumped up to $100,000. If it's anything like the Townsville Cleveland Bay the other day, it's most definitely going to be a really hot race and one race I'm really looking forward to watching. And the Townsville Cup was hotly contested on Saturday the 9th. So, of course, it's a very lovely 2-week flow and into the Red Beret Hotel Cairns Cup, now worth $150,000. 87 of the winner. And look, you paid down all the way to 10, so you do get something for turning up. But given the field and the finish that we had in the Townsville Cup, you expect a few of those horses to flow on, even with the step up to 2,100 metres. That's right. So we're hearing most of them. I'm unsure about the winner. I believe the winner is going back down south. But the one, Sir Grace that ran second, and I think it was Speed Legend that ran third, they did a fantastic job, and they'll be right in the finish.
And you've also got a Magic Millions Daintree Guineas, a 4-year-old handicap over 1,500 metres. It's worth $75,000, but there's also some bonuses available to some horses in these races too.
Yeah, you got to love Cutest Racing. Racing Queensland's doing a brilliant job with that, and also with the support of Magic Millions. Those events, not just the Daintree this year, but also all year round, it gives the opportunity for owners and participants to earn right back to a 4 or 5-year-old now, I believe it is. So got to love Cutest Racing, Queensland bred, for the support the industry. And like I say, you just got to thank RQ and Magic Millions for their support in keeping that going.
Cameron, thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thank you very much. Cheers.
A big thank you to Cam. I still love the name, the Super Carnival. It's good. Everything should be super and everything will be better.
Well, it has to be if you name it that. It's got to be good.
Yeah, 3 days.
Good.
3 days, of course, they've got this. They have Friday and Saturday this week, but our main event is this Saturday. The rail is going to be in the true position. Currently a soft 5, but let's be honest, they're watering it because it's hot as hell up there.
Yeah, definitely a good 4 by the time this race rolls around.
We have 19 horses to get through this weekend, Lammy, and the best thing is 18 of the 19 runners come through 2 races, so it makes the form nice and easy.
Yeah, it was fairly straightforward from a form perspective, not too many replays to go through. I'll start with the speed map, which doesn't look that obvious here because a couple of the usual leaders have led and knocked up recently, so I'm predicting a couple of quieter rides here, but Acclimatise probably does lead again. I think that's just its natural pattern. Vincenzo was on pace last time, but knocked up. Yep. I'm expecting a bit of a quieter ride. Logan Street Line, he probably has to roll forward from the very wide gate with the big weight, not too many more options. And Kipling's Journey and Olympic Korchnoi may also be sent forward from outside barriers. But like I said, it could be a bit of chopping and changing early, a bit of a muddling tempo to start.
Yeah, they are up to the 2,100 metres this week, so an extra 200 metres because it is a short straight there at Cairns, so they will start at the top of the straight. But let's get into this runner-by-runner, brought to you by Racing Queensland for the Red Beret Cairns Cup. It is race number 7454. p.m. this Saturday. Number 1 is said Logan Street Line. He had a decent run in the Townsville Cup, but now draws barrier 16, and he said he had to roll forward.
Yeah, keeps battling away with big weights. Doesn't get any weight relief here. I don't think he's a winning chance with 60 kilos. Very wide gate.
Number 2, another one of our old mates. We have a fair few of them. Mr. Maestro, who gets the pre-race earmuffs for the first time. He zipped from 5 at the track, but gets his chance on Saturday after what was an okay enough run at Townsville.
Yeah, I think he's been better at his last couple at Townsville, but was still nearly 5 lengths from the winner last start. So, bit of work to do, but we go sticks, drawn well, so maybe a place hope.
Number 3 is Third Realm. He was simply awful last start.
Did his best work late, though. Very late. The extra 100 helps. Another one who was still beating a fair margin, and SP of $151 doesn't inspire confidence.
Number 4 is Rogue Bear. We were with him last start, and he looked to have every hope.
Yeah, tipped the Bear in the Townsville Cup, and he wasn't flash. He was beaten 7 lengths and just held his position in the straight. Didn't really make any inroads there. Nothing in the steward's report, so it's hard to make a case for him on that effort.
Number 5, Alcyone draws a barrier 12. He got back last start, and he stayed there.
Yep, started 101 that day, beaten nearly 9 lengths, so nope.
Number 6, Kipling's Journey draws barrier 17, which looks a bit rough after drawing well in its previous 2 starts at Mackay and Townsville, but it sat back and came up the inside late there. Maybe the extra 100 metres helps.
Yeah, I did. I liked his work through the line. Still needs to find another 5 lengths, and the barrier has not been kind to him. He's sort of been middle of the road all prep. Needed to draw a gate here to be a factor, and barrier 17 makes it hard.
Number 5, Sir Grace, up to the 2,100 metres. Look, I thought he was really good last start in the Townsville Cup. The winner, Quothquan, doesn't come here. Behind the speed there that day, but he was no match for the winner.
Yeah, close strongly for second there. Settled further back than expected from barrier 1. I thought he might be on the back of the leaders, but just copped a little squeeze out of the gates. Ended up drifting back and then raced keenly in the middle stages of the race. So had a little bit of had a bit against him and still ran really well. So drawn out. Hopefully Thomas can roll forward and slot in forward of midfield. I definitely think he's a live chance.
Number 8, Smart Legend. I thought he hit the line well enough last start, and he was behind Sir Grace, who probably was a little bit better.
Yep, I would 100% agree with that. A little bit better. 1 over 2,000 at Townsville, 2 back. Beaten 2.1 last time. Very consistent. That's one thing he has in his favour. So he's very genuine. Has to be respected. But as you said, Sir Grace was that little bit better. And I thought this horse had every chance.
Solar Apex gets the earmuffs off again for the pre-race. I don't think that'll help his chances.
I don't either. Awful last start. Drawn barrier 19.
Number 10, Acclimatise. As we said, he led last start and dropped out. Weird enough stepping up to the 2,100 after that.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend him on that. I don't know. I guess they might try to ride him quieter, but I don't know if that's going to help. So, no, put a line through him.
Number 11 is Armour Force. I reckon a few people will be needing some Armour Force this weekend. Comes out of the Amateur Cup last week. Drops 6 kilos, but draws barrier 15.
Yep, up 200 metres in trip to a distance where he's yet to place in 4 goes. So, look, the quick backup, he'll be fit, but yeah, I'm not convinced he'll handle the rise in trip.
Number 12, Converner, gets the tongue tie again. Didn't do much, but up in distance helps and does draw a better gate.
An interesting market mover last week was 11 into 7 on track before getting back out late to jump 9. So there was still a fair bit of money for him. He ran okay, but beaten 5 lengths, drops 4 kilos in weight, but I just don't think he's going well enough.
Number 13, Stadium of Light. I did mention Sunderland last week in the EPL first game back. They won 3-0. This horse finished third. He was well backed, 61.5 kilos, drops 7.5 now after missing the kick.
Yeah, that's a massive weight drop for him. I don't think we're going to see Perovic here, but we'll get to him a bit later on. But yeah, drawn nicely, barrier 5. Obviously loves this track. 11 starts, 4 wins, and 4 minor placings. The query is the rise to 2,100, but he's one that, is definitely in the mix.
Number 14, Vincenzo, another one who drops well in weight here. Draws barrier 7. He looks the likely leader again.
Yeah, but the fact that he faded after leading and, he's drawn a middle gate here. Maybe they do try to ride him a bit quieter up in distance. I think that might be the way to go, but yeah, he needs to lift on what he did last week.
Our good mate, number 15, Perovic, the first of the emergencies. Barrier 14, 5 starts at the track for 3 wins. No jockey booked.
No jockey booked, and his worst run for a very long time came over this trip 2 back. It's said in the steward's report that he didn't stay. Certainly looked that way, looking at the replay. So then when he went back 200 metres last week, he won well. He was back in form. It's hard to imagine that they'll step him back up in trip. So I'd be surprised if we saw him here.
Number 16, Lucky Exchange, another of the emergencies, does bring the different form coming out of benchmark 70s at Toowoomba. Has a good record when getting out beyond a mile, wins over 19, 2,000 and 2,200.
Yeah, he's the one, X Factor might be kind, but he does bring different form. Didn't fire last start. Query at the trip, but drawn well with 54. So he's one that you got a little question mark next to.
Fortified gets the crossover noseband again. Hopefully that can help. He wasn't good last week.
No, beaten 6 lengths, has a lot of work to do there.
Number 18, Olympic Korchnoi. Don't think he can win off last week's run.
No, he loomed fleetingly early in the straight, but didn't finish off there. He did win over this trip 2 back, but he's... As we discussed last week, he's hard to trust. His form just goes up and down like a yo-yo.
Given his form card, he'll probably win this because he went horrendous win, horrendous win, horrendous. So if you want to follow that in punters, there's the way.
Good logic.
And the best bred horse in the race, the one that knocked Lammy out of the exotics last week, the Driller, by See the Stars out of Shamal Wind. Geez, he closed strongly last week and dropped 6.5 kegs.
That was a huge run. 52 kilos. Looks dangerous down there. Soft run on the fence. He'd be some chance if he managed to sneak in. He was huge odds last time I looked as well.
Yeah. Well, that is all 19 horses gone through there for the runner-by-runner for the Cairns Cup this weekend. Of course, brought to you by Racing Queensland. Lammy, let's finish this carnival off with a winner.
Yes, let's. I'm going with Sir Grace. I think he can go one better. Stadium of Light in for second and 8 Smart Legends. So sort of playing towards the top of the market there. But it does look the form that stands up. It's the obvious form. And I've got the Driller in for 4th. If he manages to sneak in, needs a few scratchings. I think Perovic will be one of them, but he needs a couple more than that. And the $100 betting play, 70 on Sir Grace at $5.50, so that's the main play, and then a $30 saver on Stadium of Light. So if Stadium gets up, we at least make a little profit on the race, but Sir Grace, the main play.
The positive is we are in front regardless of what we do on Saturday. So hopefully the punters have been following in. We can follow in again this weekend. Of course, if you are looking for tickets to the Cairns Cup this weekend, make sure you get across to the Cairns Jockey Club website. Tickets still available for both Friday and Saturday. As said in the interview with Cam, there is absolute space everywhere for everyone. And most importantly, there will be some air conditioning around for everyone. There's cash bars, there's can bars. You're going to have a great time up there. If you want to go along there, make sure you do that as well. But Lammy, thanks for previewing these races over the carnival.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
I think we're back next month for the Wheatwood at Toowoomba. Hopefully there's a flight coming our way for that, but we are done and dusted now for the Punters preview. Thank you to Racing Queensland for this, and good luck if you're having a bet on the weekend.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.